never be any leader who will say, I have no challenges. Then you are good to die. Yes, because challenges must always be there. In fact, challenges like the Anglophone crisis that has been plaguing the Northwest and the Southwest regions for the past about 80 years now. I was ordained bishop, or appointed a bishop and ordained in 2017, just at the beginning of the Anglophone crisis. The past 75 years, with gratitude to God for all that He has been for the diocese. We look at the present with enthusiasm. All of us in the diocese now must be enthusiastic in order to see how we carry on with the work of evangelization in the church.
On the 18th of April 1950, Pope Pius XII raised the Diocese of Buea as the very first diocese in Cameroon, and the Diocese of Buea had as its very first bishop His Lordship Peter Rugen of blessed memory. And today, the Diocese of Buea has as its fifth residential bishop His Lordship Michael Bibi. It is worth mentioning that on the 18th of April 2025, the diocese is going to clock 75 years, and the 75th anniversary of canonical erection of the Diocese of Buea has been scheduled to take place on the 7th of May 2025. Hello viewers of Divine Mercy Radio Television. Thank you for joining us on this exclusive session with the Bishop of Buea, His Lordship Michael Bibi, as we draw down to the peak celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea. His Lordship Michael Bibi on this session will be throwing a light on the fundamental reasons why we are having this celebration, and he's also going to be highlighting the state of affairs of the diocese at the moment, and he will be giving us a clue on what Christians and other stakeholders of the diocese should be expecting after celebrating 75 years. My Lord Bishop, we are happy to have you on this program, and we want to say thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this program and to have this opportunity to be here.
Yes, on the 23rd of July 2023, you sent out a pastoral letter announcing the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea, and in that letter you also established a steering committee to pilot the affairs of this anniversary celebration. Can you tell us some of the fundamental reasons that triggered your decision to this celebration?
Thank you very much. Yes, I sent out a circular letter on the 23rd of July 2023, informing the people of God that on the 18th of April 2025, the Diocese of Buea will be 75 years old. And I also mentioned that it is important for us to have a year celebration, which means that we're expected to do the launching of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea on the 18th of April in 2024. And I came up with this decision after we had a meeting with the members of the College of Consultors, and we thought it wise that the Diocese of Buea had celebrated 60 years, and God is going to give us the opportunity to reach 75 years. And as a sign of gratitude to God and gratitude for all those that God has used in order to make the Diocese of Boya what it is today from the point of view of evangelization and catechesis. We thought that, like children of God, we should express our gratitude to God by having the celebration. So, the main reason why we decided to celebrate was to thank God for His love, for His guidance, for His protection over the Diocese of Boya for the past 75 years. Yes, we also decided to celebrate because over these past 75 years, we have witnessed people of great faith in this diocese. We've had catechists, we've had Christians, we've had religious, we've had priests, we've had bishops who gave their life for the service of the church in the Diocese of Boya. And we thought that we had to celebrate the faith of these people, that what was handed on to them as a deposit of revelation, they have also handed over from one generation to the other, and presently we are where we are now. Of course, coming together to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the diocese, we also thought it was a time for us to start all over again, to do stock taking, to evaluate, what type of the Diocese of Boya do we have after living for 25 years? What has been our strength? What has been our weaknesses? And how can we look at this squarely in order to see how we can move ahead, for the next years that God is going to give to us? And I think these are some of the reasons that we thought it will not be necessary to allow 5 years to come and pass like that, but that we should celebrate in order to remember all the wonders that God has done for us.
And the 75th anniversary is being celebrated under the theme, Proclaim the Good News, I Am With You Always. My Lord, it is no doubt that for 75 years, the Diocese of Boya has been a source of spiritual nourishment and well-being of Catholics and non-Catholics in the diocese and beyond the diocese, given the different services that it provides to the people. And note should be taken that since your presence or your appointment in 2019 and your presence in the diocese in 2020, specifically on the 2nd of January 2020, there has been a significant shift of the provision of these services to the Christians of the diocese and those out of the diocese. And many say that these significant shift in the provision of services and the infrastructural development of the diocese, it has given the diocese a look of 75 years old. Now, we want to find out from you. First, I'll begin with the spiritual section. You have opened about 4 new parishes, and when you came on board, you took the completion of the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral as a priority. We want to know why these moves.
Yes, thank you very much. Before I came to the Diocese of Boya, of course, my predecessors, Bishop Rogan, Bishop Jules Peters, Bishop Pius Awa, Bishop Emmanuel Bushu, they have been involved in the work of evangelization. They too, with the wisdom that God gave them, did lots of things in order to make the diocese to be where it is. And when I came, I also decided, together with the Christian people, to also continue from where they ended, and where necessary, make some changes in order to see whether things could improve. And I want to say it again that it is thanks to the meetings, it is thanks to the consultations, it is thanks to the collaboration with the entire Christian community that we were able to make decisions, and decisions that were going to be for the good of the people of God. We talked about the parishes. We created 2 sociological parishes to meet the needs of our French-speaking brothers and sisters. They have been in Limbe for quite a long time. They have expressed a desire to have a parish and plans of them having the parish. And when I came, I decided that the Mater Christi community, should become a sociological parish in order to serve the French-speaking Cameroonians who want to express their faith in the language in which they understand very well. And when we created that, we also saw the necessity to attend to Saint Michel at Angers. They were meeting in the Boyatown parish, and they have started the foundation for their own church. But of course, they couldn't continue, and for obvious reasons, the crisis and all the rest. And after discussing with them and the College of Consultants, we decided that we open Saint Michel at Angers. So those are the two French-speaking communities. And then, of course, looking at St. Augustine in Beaumont Street, looking at Our Lady of Sorrows, we said it was important too, looking at the growing need of the community, the necessity of having their priest in their midst. It was necessary for us to open those parishes in order to make the spiritual life of the people to be better off. Of course, as far as the Divine Mercy Cathedral is concerned, it was a project that Bishop Bushu had a vision, saw the importance of having a bigger cathedral than what we have here in small support that will meet the needs of the people of God. And he started a project, and the project went on, and due to some reasons, the project stopped in 2015, as I was told. And before I came into the diocese, he had actually planned to relaunch the project on the 12th of January 2020, and the levies were given, people were prepared in order to come for the relaunching of the work of the Divine Mercy Cathedral. And I came in and I saw the files. I saw that it was a necessity as far as the diocese was concerned. It was a necessity as far as the Bishop Emeritus himself was concerned. And I threw my weight behind it, and together with the priests, together with the religious and the members of Christ Lay Faithful, I think we took some measures in order to see how we could contribute, in order to get funds. We had to solicit funds here and there in order to help us to do the work that we have there. And I remain thankful to God because in 2025, precisely on the 5th of January 2025, the Divine Mercy Cathedral was dedicated by me in the presence of all the bishops of Cameroon who came for their 48th annual seminar in the Diocese of Boya. And that 5th of January, that the cathedral was dedicated, the same 5th of January that I was appointed in
Interesting.
2021 as the Bishop of Boya. So for me, it was a happy coincidence that I was appointed on the 5th of January 2021 as the Bishop of Boya. I am consecrating the Divine Mercy Cathedral on the 5th of January 2025, which was an act of thanksgiving to God for the wonders that He continuously does for us. Because honestly speaking, I'm sure many of the Christians were surprised with what we had done there. Even myself, I'm surprised. But it's God's work. And as far as God's work is concerned, He knows the way He handles it. He knows the way He handles it. And I think at the end of the day, we'll give glory to God. Because if you read the letter of St. Paul, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 6 to 7, St. Paul says that I planted, Apollos watered, and God gave the growth. So I think that all of us, in our different ways, have contributed in order to make the cathedral to what it is today. And we have to also understand that it's through the grace of God that we have been able to do what we have done. And that is why all the glory, all the honor is to be given to God, who is the source of every good.
All glory be given to God. My Lord, we cannot talk about the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral without also talking about the Bishop Pius, our Memorial Pastoral Center, which also happens to be a milestone recorded in the Diocese of Boya. And it is worth noting that these two projects were taking place concurrently, and Christians were like, this is a marathon, Bishop. So, my Lord, what was the need you strived to address by bringing in the Bishop Pius, our Memorial Pastoral Center? Because this is something that is new to most of us in the Diocese of Boya. And why did you decide to name it after the Bishop Emeritus of blessed memory, His Lordship Pius Our?
Thank you very much. As far as the coordination of pastoral activities in any diocese is concerned, it is done in the pastoral center. The Diocese of Boya had the pastoral center in Mutengene, which along the line was taken up by the college. And I think since then, we've had no pastoral center. And during my canonical position of the diocese, of course, the visitors that came out, the bishops and all the rest, we put them in hotels. Some bishops stayed in mountain hotels, some in my house, some people, St. Clair Hotel in town and all the rest, which personally, it wasn't proper for me, and I'm sure for the whole diocese, that we do not have a pastoral center. As I mentioned, a pastoral center is where pastoral activities, spiritual activities are carried out. And that is why I spoke with the Presbyterian of the diocese, and I also spoke to the entire diocese and the different meetings that we had, that I know very well that we are carrying on with the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, and we need to complete it. At the same time, I also saw that there was a need to have a pastoral center. And I told them that the cathedraticum of 2022, I would dedicate it to the beginning of the work of the pastoral center. And once we discussed like that, we saw that it was good to have some levies, which we gave the levies. And the money that came in the cathedraticum of 2022, immediately the money came in, we started work with the first building. And subsequently, we had the cathedraticum of 2023, that of 2024. We have the one of 2025 coming up now. And what will come up in 2025 is the last cathedraticum that we are dedicating to the pastoral center. Not that we have finished paying, all what we use there, but that the Christians should have another orientation again. But I want to sincerely thank all the Christians, as you rightly say, doing the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral to complete it, and beginning the
Pastoral Center at the same time.
We have there now, you can understand the financial burden that we all went through. But I don't regret that decision that we took, because the priests had their first retreat in 2024 in October at the Pastoral Center. The bishops of Cameroon were supposed to come here for the annual seminar. And I was still in that 2022 that I solicited that they should come to Boya, and they accepted. So all the work, we're doing it and thinking about the diocese, but also thinking about the bishops. When they come here, we're going to take them to the hotel, or we're going to have our own center. I was happy that by the time they came, at least we had 88 rooms in the first two buildings ready. The construction of the banquet hall was not in our program, but thank God it was ready. The conference hall was never in our program, but thank God it was also ready. And all of this, we can only say thanks be to God for giving us the means in order to do what we have done. As far as the naming of the center is concerned, when I came here and I decided to do some works at the Cal University Institute of Boya, and I did the two buildings there. In the first place, I decided to dedicate one of the buildings to Bishop Emmanuel Bushu, the Emeritus Bishop of Boya, and the family of Dr. Josh Atem, who died, who passed away. They had made me that they wanted to build something in CYB to be like a monument to remember their father who spent his time in the university and contributed a lot for the growth of the university. So I told them, but why do you need to put a monument? I have put up two buildings. I'm dedicating one to Bishop Bushu. I could dedicate one to him. And the family was happy. And that is how those two buildings were dedicated to Bishop Emmanuel Bushu and Dr. Josh Atten, Thanksgiving for all that they did as far as the university was concerned. And when I thought about the pastoral center, I saw that the diocese were not really dedicated anything to Bishop Arisawa. The first bishop, Bishop Rogan, the minor seminary, Bishop Rogan Minor Seminary. The second bishop, Bishop Josephus, the Josephus Memorial Secondary School there in Bokwango, owned by the St. Teresa Sisters. So he founded a congregation dedicated to him. So Bishop Awa, there was nothing for him yet. So I thought it was good to honor him, to keep his memory by dedicating that building to Bishop Pius Awa.
And my Lord, just to find out, is the pastoral center open to the community, or it is meant only for Catholic Christians?
The pastoral center, like any other pastoral center, is open to the public. We use it for our evangelizing mission. We use it for our pastoral work. We use it for our spiritual work. We use it for seminars and formations that concerns us. And at the same time, if there is any member of the public that wants to use the facilities, you come there and you use the facilities. At the same time, give us a token that will help us to maintain, because it's a big center. We have to pay electricity, we have to pay water, we have to do maintenance now and then and all the rest. So it's a place open to the public, But as you say, it is primarily for the spiritual and the pastoral life of the people of this diocese. That's why most of our meetings now, we're going to the pastoral center. Most of the meetings used to take place in my conference room, but now we go down there because we have good facilities and we have to make use of what we have contributed in building.
Thank you so much, my Lord. Moving away from the pastoral center, I would like to take you to the sector of education, where the Diocese of Boya has also been a reference when it comes to education. And it is worth noting that it houses the very first secondary school in the then English Cameroon. And we are talking about St. Joseph College, Sase. And worthy of note is the fact that the diocese has so many schools. The Diocese of Boya is investing a lot in schools. And since the coming of His Lordship Michael Bibi, he has also opened other schools. He has opened two schools. We are talking about Our Lady of Lourdes and Spicotech. And we would like to find out the impact of these schools for 75 years. How impactful has the schools been? And my Lord, why open up more schools?
Thank you very much. I think the very first school I want to thank God for its existence is St. Joseph's College in Sase. Last year, in 2024, we celebrated the 85th anniversary of the existence of that college. And you know, of course, that as far as Sase is concerned, many of the big guns, you can call them that way, in our nation and beyond, passed through St. Joseph's College in Sase. We also have Jehovah Minor Seminary that we just celebrated their diamond
Jubilee.
60 years of existence. I happen to be one of the students who left from the minor seminary. And if you look at the diocese as a whole, we have done a lot as far as education is concerned. The church has done a lot, not only in the diocese of Boya, but in the whole ecclesiastical province and beyond. And all the dioceses in Cameroon and out of Cameroon, you see that the church accompanies the government, the state, as far as education is concerned. And we also look at education as very, very important, not only in bringing up the young people to be able to know and have knowledge about things around them, but also to bring them up in the faith. That is why our schools are faith communities. They are meant also to help those who go there to be able to embrace the faith, to deepen their faith, and at the same time to give the holistic education that is needed. We give a rounded formation, intellectual, moral, spiritual, pastoral, and you can name the rest. So the church believes in education, and that is why we will continue to make sure that we educate our young people and also tell them about the importance of going to school. Of course, you rightly mentioned in 2020, we opened Lady of Lourdes College, and after that, we opened St. Pius X Technical and Commercial College. And I think those are the two colleges that I added to those that were existing already. And the aim is to give more opportunity to our children in order to grow in knowledge and also make sure that they are able to live according to the teachings of the church.
And still staying with the sector of education, we noticed that a few, maybe months or a year ago, you had to you had to look at the teaching condition of teachers in the Diocese of Boya, and we know that we cannot be celebrating 75 years without recognizing the teachers. What motivated you to take this move?
Well, I mean, the teachers, they give a lot of contribution as far as our schools are concerned. They make a lot of sacrifices. And within the context of the crisis plaguing the northwest and the southwest regions, it has been very difficult for them too, with the school situation in order to make ends meet. There were times that schools were not going on, but we had to still pay them money. And I remember immediately I came here, one of the issues that was a burning issue was the issue of the areas of the teachers, which I spoke with them. We came to a compromise. We met the regional delegate for labor. The labor advised us. We prepared and we paid them off. Those that we had to pay them off. And of course, they also mentioned about incrementing their salaries and all the rest. We had a meeting together with them and the labor people, and I saw the committee, and the committee looked into the situation and also gave us a barem that we can follow in order to meet up with the needs, and that we did also. At the same time, we also understand that no matter whatever you do in order to improve situations, challenges are always there in life, and they're part and parcel of life, because we keep on seeing how to improve the situations, but we can only do what we can do. And the teachers, of course, they have lots of things here and there. When they bring it up, we try to handle it and follow up with their NPS, family allowance, and all the rest. And I think that didn't only affect only the educational sector, because the catechist who came up, we had to do something in order to handle the catechist.
And for the first time, we heard of catechists being put on salaries.
Yes, so we had to work out the main catechists in the 40 parishes officially employed by the diocese, and they're put on salaries, and it helps them to be able to make ends meet too. And of course, at the beginning of this year, I had to increase the salaries to all the workers of Mount Mary Hospital, in order to assist them too. And we're working on the plans now to increase for Ash de Banda. And in the course of last year, I also increased for the workers of GMR TV. So we are looking at the situations in general to see what we can do. And the people do a lot of sacrifices in order to make the diocese to move And when they make those sacrifices, it is good for us to also try with our limited resources to make them have a reason to work, so that though the increments will never solve all their problems, they will know that it takes them somewhere. To have a loaf is better than none.
Than nothing. Thank you so much, my Lord, for 75 years. Holistic education has been the focus, and we are also celebrating the diocese for its health services provided to the Christians and non Catholics as well. Now, let us talk about health, my Lord. We have noticed that the diocese has also been focusing on the health sector. We can we can point out Regina Patches Hospital at Mutengene. We can also point out Ash Dibanda, and we can also talk about Mount Mary Hospital, which recently you upgraded it to have a mortuary. Can you tell us why the church is so concerned about health and what was the need for the Mount Mary mortuary?
I mean, health is a basic concern. If you look at everywhere where the missionaries went for evangelization, they had education in their mind, they had health in their mind, they have the provision of social amenities like water, electricity, all those basic things that the human person needs. And I think that is what has been going on in the Diocese of Boya for the past years. And coming in and meeting the different hospitals that we have, all I have done is listen to the administrators there, areas where we need to do renovations, we've tried to carry them out, areas where we needed to get the equipment. I remember I had to bring in some containers from the US in order to upgrade the machines and the equipment of Mount Mary, of Ash and Regina Patches. We have also brought some doctors out of the country to come in for consultation. And then about medical doctors will be coming again at the beginning of June for consultation. And we are there trying to make sure that we get the equipment that will be able to help those working in the hospital to diagnose diseases and give them the proper treatment. Because health is goal, health is life, and we should not play with our health. And that is why the church is very particular having these hospitals in order to improve on the health situation of the people. Like some you mentioned the aspect of the mortuary, we also realize that the care for the dead is very important. And I came to Boya, I also reflected that yes, we have some mortuaries around, but I said like an institution, it's good we have our own mortuary because unfortunately, during my early years in the Diocese of Boya, I had to bury 3 priests. Yes, Monsignor James Toba, and then I had to also bury Father Etienne Kumba, I had to bury Father Didymos, you know, all those situations that came up. I said, and they were all taken to the other mortuaries. And I went there, and I said, why not have our own that will permit these priests to be there in case God calls any of us, the religious and the lay faithful and the entire public. That's how we conceive the mortuary. And we're happy that it's on, we're happy that it's serving the needs of the people. And the care we give there is not a matter of just taking care of the bodies, but also making sure that those who are bereaved, we join them in prayers, we accompany them in prayers, and also make God to be the center. We know how painful it is when human life is lost, and during that moment, the church has an important role to accompany those who are bereaved so that the pain that they go through, they should be able to unite it with that of Jesus Christ.
Thank you so much, my Lord. I want to move a bit away from the health sector to talk now about communication, where we know that the Diocese of Boya over the years has been using some different channels of communication to reach out to the people. And we had Divine Mercy Radio. And when you came on board, you established DMR-TV, and you also restructured the Office of Communication of the Diocese of Boya. What has been your motive behind this?
Thank you very much. Coming to the Diocese of Boya, we had the Divine Mercy Radio and Television that was already established by my predecessor, Bishop Emmanuel Bushu. And the radio was functioning, but not the television. And with the radio, I remember in my room here, I struggled a good number of times to capture it. I could not, but I could capture other radio stations. So I had to make investigations. What needs to be done in order for us to reach out. Then when I went on pastoral visits, the Christians would say, "What is wrong? We don't have our own Catholic radio. We're only hearing stations, other stations, and the rest." So when I got their complaints, I thought it was important to do something, and that is why. And I got the estimates and all the rest. We looked at it, the members of the college. We thought that it was important to upgrade what we had and to move the station from where it was, because the workers were complaining and going there and coming. They were far away from the population and the rest. So that's what we did, and we brought the station down. We got the necessary equipments, and I think the radio started functioning and functioning everywhere, out of the Diocese of Boya. I mean, you are driving now to Yaoundé, you have the opportunity to follow up some of those things. But we decided in 2022 that we're going to have a television too. We're making the services of other televisions, but we thought we needed more presence, especially with evangelization. And what really motivated me the more was the COVID-19 pandemic that came up, and restrictions were given, and people started following masses on YouTube, Facebook, and televisions, and all the rest. And I thought it was important that we embark on the project of the television. We did the necessary documentations, and I went to Yaoundé myself and met the Minister of Communication. I explained to him the necessity of the project and all the rest, and he gave us authorization to begin. The MRTV television as existing now for July, we'll make it at July 4th, we'll make it 3 years. So what is important is that all of us will just have to continue to see what we do to give the support that they need for a better production. And when we look at what the radio and the television is doing today, we can not but say thank you to all the technicians and the journalists who are making it to happen, and to the parishes and the institutions that are contributing in order to sustain, because we don't make any money, but their salaries come from our different institutions and parishes to make ends meet. And of course, the Directorate of Communication, I had to also make sure that I changed it a bit in order to give us more visibility as far as the website was concerned, because the website was like not working at all. I took measures, we're just patching up. But I think since I did the changes at the level of the Directorate, with divisions of things, I think I'm very impressed with what we have now. We have to keep growing. We have to keep growing, but I think the services of the Directorate of DMR TV, Cameroon Panorama, and all those who are involved in the communication domain. I think I'm very, very happy with the work that they are doing. Of course, the church has always mentioned, as far as evangelization is concerned, the importance and the necessity of the social media. If you go to Evangelii Nunciandi or Pope St. Paul VI, paragraph 45, it brings out the social media as one of the means for evangelization. And if you go to Catechesi Tradendi of Pope St. John Paul II, in paragraph 46, they also talk to us about the importance of the social media as far as the work of communication is concerned. So I think with the presence of DMR TV, with the changes in the communication department, the Diocese of Boya, we are reaching out to many people now as far as evangelization is concerned and other societal issues.
Thank you so much, my Lord. Televiewers, if you're just tuning in, we are having an exclusive interview with His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Diocese of Boya, and this interview is coming prelude to the peak celebration of the 75th anniversary of canonical erection of the Diocese of Boya. Stay tuned, we shall be right back. You're welcome back to this exclusive session with His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Diocese of Boya, as we draw closer to the peak celebration of the 75th anniversary of canonical erection of the Diocese of Boya. On the 18th of April 2024, my Lord, you launched activities marking the 75th anniversary celebration of the diocese, and these activities were supposed to run for a period of 1 year. What is your appraisal of these activities so far?
Thank you very much. Ever since the launching of the 75th anniversary celebration on the 18th of April in 2024, I must say that following the evaluation of the members of the steering committee in the different meetings that we have been having, everything has been moving on very well. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all the deans who arranged for us to celebrate at the different deaneries in order to help most of the Christians to participate. We have been to all the deaneries. The only deanery that is pending now is Boya Deanery. We're supposed to have Boya Deanery actually on the 22nd yesterday, but we could not because of the mountain race. So due to my tight schedule, we'll still have to figure them and bring them in next month in March before the big celebration. We celebrated with all the schools, we celebrated with the prayer and action groups. Then we still have the CMA that will be coming up on the 22nd of March. But apart from that, my personal evaluation is that the celebrations at the different level have been very good, have been well organized. The Christians have participated, and I think it has been a moment of blessing for the diocese that we had the opportunity to celebrate at the different levels.
Thank you so much, my Lord. Permit me to use these words which is from one of the sponsors or one of the benefactors of Spicotech, who says that the amazingly creative, forward-looking, and loving leader of Boya, and my candidate for world-class leader in getting things done. Now, many say you are a visionary leader, but I know, as many also know, that leadership comes with challenges. It is not a bed of roses. What are some of those challenges you encounter in carrying out your mission, and what have you been doing to surpass these challenges?
Yeah, thank you very much. I've said it a good number of times that every challenge that God allows to come our way, we should view them as stepping stones to move forward. We should never allow any challenge to break us down. Whatever challenge that God permits to come our way, Let them be stepping stones in order to make us to continue to work and to work well. And I think that I have had those challenges like a leader and any other leader in the church, either the Holy Father, either the different bishops in different areas. We have our challenges every day, and there can never be any leader who will say, I have no challenges, then you are good to die. Yeah, because challenges must always be there. In fact, challenges like the Anglophone crisis that have been plaguing the Northwest and the Southwest regions for the past about 8 years now. I was ordained a bishop or appointed a bishop and ordained in 2017, just at the beginning of the Anglophone crisis. And all through my ministry and apostolate, I've been under this challenge, and the crisis is not ended. But we are in it. And what I think that we have to do is continue to love the people, continue to serve them, continue to bring the gospel of Christ to them that should help them to grow. Another challenge that came up is the whole aspect of the COVID-19 pandemic. That immediately I came into the diocese, we had the COVID-19. It was very challenging at that period, but God was with us, and God accompanied us and accompanied us properly. Of course, we have challenges when some of the difficult areas, the parishes, the diocese that cannot make ends meet, and fathers have to live there, they have to work there. So we have to struggle to see how to take care of them and also make sure that they have the basic things that they need in order to facilitate their pastoral ministry. We had another big challenge of transportation. As far as the ministers are concerned, that we also try to look into it. And of course, there have been lots and lots of challenges with the work you do. You take decisions, decisions that is good for the diocese, is good for the church. Not everybody sees it. And I think social media outlets have been on some of those decisions, and sometimes even stories that have been made up in order to dampen the spirit. But as I say, when those things happen, you just have to pray. You have to pray for those who do those type of things. God should help them to be converted. You have to love them, and at the same time, you have to remain focused and do what you know is good, what you know is true.
Thank you, my Lord. Talking about remaining focused, we would like to know, is there more in store for the Diocese of Oya after celebrating 75 years?
Yes, there will always be more in store. I will not allow people to rest because it's a time of building and it's a time of growth. And once we start growing, we have to keep growing. After the 75th anniversary celebration, I have a project that will be coming up. And that project is the retirement home for our priests.
Okay.
The priests who are slaving for us every day, that we're taking care of them, and when they're going for their retirement, we also have to think where they're going to live. So we have to come up inside next year. We have to make plans to begin the retirement home for the priests in 2026. And I don't do only one project at a time. That project will be linked up with Divine Mercy building. Building that will be hosted in the communication department of the diocese. Those are the two things that I have in my mind now. I've shared them, and the meeting we are going to have, there's various meetings I'm going to have with the diocese. I would say the idea that I hear what the people have to say, then from there we have to begin somewhere. Yes, but I think it's important. We will never be without having a diocesan project. As we finish one, we take another
Another
one.
one.
And at the end of the day, once we have had some basic things that we need, then it is going to be understandable. So I think that is very important for us.
Thank you so much, my Lord. What is your message to the Christians of the Diocese of Boya and other stakeholders of the diocese as we celebrate 75 years of canonical erection?
Yes, my message to the Christians of the Diocese of Boya, the religious and the priests, and all people of goodwill is that I want in the first place to thank God for giving all of us the opportunity to live in His presence and to serve Him in the church. I want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers, for your support, for your contribution, for your advice, and all what you have done as far as the Diocese of Boya is concerned. I want to thank all my predecessors, the different bishops at different times who came in and gave in their contribution for the growth of this diocese. As I mentioned from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 6 to 7, Paul said, I planted, Apollos watered, God gave the growth. So everything is the grace of God. And that is why glory and honor is to be given to Him. And as we celebrate this 150th anniversary, I would like to conclude by getting to the words of Pope St. John Paul II, who reminded us that we must always look at the past with gratitude. We look at the past 75 years with gratitude to God for all that He has been for the diocese. We look at the present with enthusiasm. All of us in the diocese now must be enthusiastic in order to see how we carry on with the work of evangelization in the church. And we look at the future with confidence. Those three words are very important. Gratitude, enthusiasm, and confidence. I want to look at the future in confidence. It means that we have hope. And our hope will never deceive us. And within the context of the celebration of this year of hope in the church, we have to remain hopeful, praying that God will give us the blessings that we need so that we continue to grow in our faith, and hoping that after our earthly life here, we'll share with God in eternal blessedness.
Proclaim the good news, I am with you always. That is the theme of celebrating 75 years of the Diocese of Boya. My Lord, thank you so much for taking out time to talk to us. And to our viewers, thank you for being with us throughout this session with His Lordship Michael Bibi. And we look forward to seeing you on the 7th of May, which is the date which has been kept aside for the peak celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Boya. And that celebration is going to take place at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral. I have been Fomucha Mirabel. Thank you and goodbye.
There can never be any leader who will say, I have no challenges. Then you are good to die. Yes, because challenges must always be there. In fact, challenges like the Anglophone crisis that has been plaguing the Northwest and the Southwest regions for the past about 80 years now. I was ordained bishop, or appointed a bishop and ordained in 2017, just at the beginning of the Anglophone crisis. The past 75 years with gratitude to God for all that He has been for the diocese. We look at the present with enthusiasm. All of us in the diocese now must be enthusiastic in order to see how we carry on with the work of evangelization in the church.